All right, let's be real. Sometimes your brain just feels like a messy sandwich. There's too much going on, stuff slipping out the sides, and no napkins in sight. That's where therapy comes in.
And we're not just talking about screaming into the void or trauma dumping on your sandwich artist. We're talking actual therapy with someone who knows what they're doing. And lucky for you, BetterHelp, our paid partner for this episode, makes it easy to get started.
No waiting rooms, no weird therapy office smells, just a quick questionnaire and boom. You're matched with a credentialed therapist in a couple days. And if it's not a vibe, switch it up faster than you can switch up your sandwich sauce.
So if your brain feels like a chaotic group chat, do yourself a favor, go to betterhelp.com/thinkfresh or hit the link in the description for 10% off your first month. Your future self will thank you.
Hello, perverts. Welcome to another episode of Think Fresh Podcast with Ty and Eric.
What's up, fucking losers? It's a rainy Tuesday. Ty and I are experiencing seasonal depression.
Yes.
It looks like. I'm
it's
watching
a rainy one.
We're watching a dog take a shit.
We're sitting by a park. The rain is pitter-pattering on the sunroof above us.
Yeah.
Eric's in your left ear, Ty's in your right. You're squatting in the center console. We're all here together for this episode.
You're making the stick shift disappear.
Yep. You could say that.
Yeah, man. It's if I didn't know any better, I would say Subway would be a fine lunch choice today, because on a gray, gloomy Vancouver day, I don't know, man. I gotta say, cuddling up with 12 inches is kind of the perfect remedy.
Dude, I want a carb load. I even crave a little bit of that juicy meat. It's wet out, so I want some wet meats. Some tomahawk Tuah steak, if you will.
Wow. Dude, where is Hawk? I miss her. Has she left the podcast sphere?
Dude, we lost a real one.
Yeah, R.I.P.
I don't know what happened to Hawk, but I think she'll come back. Reunion tour.
I'm gonna try to not be sad that it's over, but just smile that it happened.
I agree.
Smile and spit on your partner for solidarity. You know,
dude, Mother Earth is spitting down on us today.
Yeah.
And it seems like a good day to just recognize what Hawk did for the podcasting industry.
That's right, man. She really changed the game, I think. What happened to the Hawk coin?
Oh, the Hawk coin. Well, I bought it all. It's all in my it's all in my crypto wallet. I own all of it.
That's crazy. So you're the single reason why it got rug pulled, or did you do the rug pulling?
Dude, I'm a rug tugger.
Rug and tug.
Rug and tug. Anything to make a little profit. But today I pull off my MetaMask and I reveal that it was me all along.
Yeah, dude. Once you took off the Ray-Ban, the Meta Raybans, you reveal your identity and no longer anonymous. So
I don't even use Instagram stories, but I kind of want to cop a pair of these Meta Raybans. I know, like, you know, I was an early adopter of the Snapchat spectacles. I owned a pair. You know that, of course. And I think there's something very fun about having a body cam. You know, it's a protective move. People are putting them on their cars. Why not put it on your face?
Body cam, dash cam. I don't know. Streaming while nude. It's all the same.
There's
you know what I mean?
Yeah. I just, the people in my network that are using their Ray-Ban glasses, they're capturing some pretty, not just intimate, but interesting moments in their life. Whether they're, like, I saw a guy riding a horse the other day in my close friends list. It just felt like for a moment I was riding a horse. Think about all the things you could imagine yourself riding with those glasses if everyone had them.
Yeah, well, we're all riding the stock market to hell right now.
That's a fact.
So yeah, it's kind of interesting because when it's like a true POV, like the camera is between your eyes and both of your hands are in the frame, it really feels like you are living someone else's life for a little bit. So it's kind of an interesting, different mode of documentation. You know what I mean? Like the Instagram story, it's like you look like a doofus holding up your phone to like a piece of cake. You know what I mean? When you pour the chocolate on top, you're holding it there with your flash on. Like nobody likes that. Flick the Meta Raybans on, and that glowing circle is just recording everything for you, and you're good to go.
Totally, and put both hands to work.
That's right, dude.
I also just think, like, a lot of when people want to get good at something, they record themselves doing it so that they can rewatch the footage and then look at their form, practice. You see it at the gym, you see it at the driving range, you see it on the pitch. You could see it in new places with the Ray-Bans glasses. You could see it on the rowboat. You could see it on the subway lineup.
That's right.
You can see it while driving. How's my form? Am I at 10-2, or am I getting a little lazy here?
Yeah, absolutely. We've seen people do the body cam at Subway before, whether it's for personal pleasure or if it was mandated by their manager, because they work at Subway at the south side of Chicago or something like that.
Yeah, there's a protective measure in some jurisdictions.
But how would you feel, Ty, if you walked into a Subway and your artist was wearing sunglasses?
Oh, like my artist is recording me, or just the fact that I cannot make eye contact whatsoever?
They're wearing the Ray-Ban Metas.
Okay.
And you're like, I don't even know where you're looking right now, but also know that you're going to watch this footage again of me ordering my meatball pizza.
I'm not concerned about the lack of eye contact whatsoever, because a sandwich artist has never tried to look me in the eyes anyways. They're always down in the meats, my meats or the deli.
Only when you ask them a stupid question like, how many calories are in the honey DJ sauce?
DJ.
You know what I mean?
Yes, in that case, they look at you with a piercing glance.
Yeah,
like you've wronged them in some way.
I don't get paid enough to tell you this information.
Yeah, I don't know, and I don't know how to protect myself. So I'm not concerned with the eye contact being lost, but I am concerned with my privacy being recorded. I don't need the world to know. I don't need this to end up on a streaming platform if it's leaked.
Yep.
How I look when I order, because I'm an ugly orderer, Eric. I think I'm an ugly orderer.
Let me get a motherfucking...
Yeah, I'm mumbling, I'm stumbling, I'm backtracking, I'm jumping ahead. I'm mispronouncing the vegetables.
Like, oh, I forgot marinara.
Every time. No one likes the sound of their voice, not even podcasters.
Believe it or not.
So imagine the sound of your voice and a warped version of your face because of the type of lens they're using on that camera. It's the wide angle lens.
Yeah, for sure. And they're all 5'4".
Oh yeah,
behind the line. So
it's going up the nose a little bit.
They're looking up at your double chin while you're kind of thinking about what meats you want.
Yeah, and what I know, I can already see the meme captions like, "Boy adds third chin, gets a footlong sub again."
Accessibility text.
Yeah, exactly. The alt tag on that is additional chin being added. Yeah, it's not a good look for me.
Definitely not. So I want to share with you a moment where I kind of had to second guess myself while I was ordering something.
Oh, okay. So you would definitely not want the frames on you.
Definitely not. I'm not qualified to make quick judgment when ordering.
Okay.
I'm somebody who has to think about it in the car on the way to the restaurant. You know what I'm saying?
You're pre-looking up the menu.
No, I'm just thinking about what mood am I in.
Oh,
you know
right,
what I mean?
Right.
I do
salty, sweet.
Yeah, I do a bit of a word cloud exercise in my head while I'm going to the restaurant.
So what are the types of words you imagine in your little cloud?
Well, my 420 cloud is sweet, salty.
Yes, we should do a 420 acknowledgement really quick. Not the date, because we're a little early, but the episode number. I wish that timed out a week later.
We're so high that we're a week early.
We're living in the future, man.
Exactly. So I think about flavors. I think about the type of food. If I want a pasta, if I want a meat dish, you know what I mean? Things like this.
Do you ever role play in your mind what your interaction with your server will be like and how it will be received?
No, but I have a lot of anxiety about asking for the bill right before it has to happen. I'm like, oh God, are they going to ignore me? I'm going to put my hand up and they're not going to see it.
That's the scariest thing, yeah. We've all had dreams about that, especially as a man. I think being able to obtain the bill is a rite of passage as a man.
Absolutely. It's a skill for sure. And I would say to mitigate any risk of not being heard, I kind of shout more than normal. A little bit louder. I'll go, hey. You know what I mean? I'll get the bill from across the restaurant, no problem. I'll just make myself really loud. Another one is to start snapping your fingers. They love that.
Excuse me. Yeah, that's a great one. That's a cool move.
Yeah. very high risk though, because they could hear you and not respond because it's rude. That's even the worst.
Yeah, that's true. And then everyone's looking at you
Look at this
except
dickhead
the server.
fucking snapping at the server.
Because I think that's actually the anxiety, Eric, is it's not like speaking up. It's speaking up and not being acknowledged.
Yeah.
And then you just look kooky. You look like a Karen for causing a scene. Like you deserve attention.
Mm-hmm.
Like you demand attention.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah.
One move that I actually appreciated, because I went out the other day and the guy who dropped off our food said, "I'll be back in 2 minutes." Like he gave like an estimated time of like visit.
Wow, good for him.
Yeah, so I had 2 whole minutes to think about what beer I wanted next. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Which is kind of like a nice subtle play.
We're gonna time box it. I don't want you to overthink it, but you need a little bit of time here.
Yeah.
That's great.
I mean, he dropped off my chicken burger and he was like, "I'm gonna come back in 2 minutes to see how it is." I'm like, great. I have 2 minutes to form a review and to think about what beer I want.
Dude, you're not getting like a jump scare from the server.
Yeah.
Asking you for an unsolicited opinion.
That's right. I can time my bite. You know what I mean?
You can time the bites. Whenever I see the server coming towards me at the restaurant, I was at Bar Susu last night or this weekend, and this was happening a lot. I was right in the aisle where the server would walk by, and I always thought they were going to swing by and just for some banter or a question.
And I pump fake the bite.
Dude, yeah, I needed a clear sarcophagus in the event of a question. I don't want to be caught mid-chew.
That's right.
It was so difficult to eat because there were so many passes. I didn't know when the stop was going to happen, when there was going to be a stopover.
I'm going to crack the window, Ty.
What's going on? We're steaming up in here?
We're steaming up a little bit, and it's not raining as hard.
Okay, let's do that. Yeah, a little fresh air to keep this episode going.
We're potting al fresco today. All right, continue.
Yeah, so Bar Susu, anxiety-driven meal. Really hard to get through every bite because I don't know when I'm going to be requested to speak. Yeah, so I do appreciate that. I almost want all servers to do that. It's kind of like when Uber Eats is like tells you that Muhammad has just picked up your order and he's in a Civic and he's 6 minutes away.
I know if I have time to hop in the shower.
Exactly.
If I should put on pants now or in 5 minutes.
Dude, there's nothing like being like falling over trying to get your first leg in the pant hole because they're downstairs ringing on your buzzer.
Yeah, I feel like I've mentioned this on the pod like 5 years ago, but the best part about COVID was they added the option to just leave the food at your door and not like knock and give it to you. So obviously I picked that option and you never have to even see Muhammad. It's just a ghost.
I do appreciate that, but I worry too much about food temperature. I'm paranoid about that. And the last thing I want to do is fall asleep on my couch watching, I don't know, the White Lotus finale. Did you watch the White Lotus finale?
No spoilers, please.
No spoilers. Yeah. I haven't seen it yet either.
Okay.
It's been very difficult to peruse social media these days.
Oh God, dude, I got a meltdown the other day because I was almost saw a spoiler, but I was able to close the door and my phone very
good
quickly.
Good on you. Yeah, so you fall asleep on the couch, you wake up an hour and a half later, your Chipotle bowl has now been eaten by a raccoon.
That's right. But make no mistake, Ty. I got my ear to the door. I'm waiting for them to drop the food and hear their little footsteps scanter away. Sometimes I'll even try to grab the food before they can take the photo, just to really screw them.
That's awesome. This has been a lot of digression from your story, so I want to get back to that. You went out for a meal and you had to make an uncomfortable decision.
That's right, Ty. I went to Rewind Brewing Company.
Familiar.
Which recently expanded their patio.
I saw that. It's quite large.
It's like double the size now. And I gotta say, it was one of the best, if not the best, patios on Brewers Row in Port Moody. And it's only gotten better. It's truly remarkable how they did that.
The more baddies they can shove on there, the better, I guess.
That's right. The only downside is they eliminated my secret parking spot, which was to illegally park in front of the patio.
Dude, this is the problem, is that we all live in these like dense urban environments and patios and cars are competing for the same square footage.
Dude, yeah, the COVID patio took out almost all parking spots for a while.
It was the most pedestrian-centric thing a city could do.
I know. For a second, I thought we were in like stupid little Denmark or something. But no, I'm just watching this squirrel run up and down the tree.
But a squirrel.
Yeah, the parking spot is gone, and that's just a problem with infrastructure, Ty. You lose the ability to get creative with where you park your car. But anyways, I went to the bar and it was packed, bro. It was absolutely filled with local nomads and people with a baby under 2,
Dude,
and a stroller and a dog.
I totally could imagine that, because the craft beer scene is having a renaissance in this post-tariff war world.
Yeah,
people are
true.
like, I gotta support local again. I guess I have to go drink the double IPA. I can't go buy a 6-pack of Budweiser with a clean conscience.
That's right, dude. I'm sticking to the local brews.
And
And
beers are back,
dude. Yeah, it was like dudes with ponytails were first on the scene, and then it
They never
became
left.
like they're still there. They're behind the counter though now.
Oh, yeah.
They got the job there. And then the second wave was like everyone's dad.
Yeah.
And then now it went to the young hipster. And now it's kind of like, spread to the mainstream market, I would say.
Yeah, we've delineated. It's now for the laggers of alcohol, I guess.
The kind of mainstream Democrat, I would say.
That's a good way to describe who's there.
Yeah. But yeah, I went up there and I had to make a really quick decision, Ty, because there's a pizza menu at the bar and there was a line behind me of like 12 guys with tote bags, and I had to really quickly make a decision. So I just went with the feature pizza, and it was a pickle pizza.
A pickle pizza?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. That sucks. I'm so sorry.
Well, honestly, I saw the pickles, I saw the dill, and I was like, you know what? Let's give this a go. It was fantastic, Ty.
No way.
It was like a surprising gift. You know what I mean? Yeah.
So I'm imagining that they would have, in order to make a good pickle pizza, you have to denounce everything you thought you knew about pizza making. No marinara sauce. That's got to be ranch. Gone. Yeah, exactly. Ranch. And I don't think you just do one type of pickle on here. I think
you're right. It was ranch.
Was it? Oh, hell yeah, dude. Of course
I just remembered it was ranch. That's so funny.
Because that's a dream team. And I'm thinking like you're doing slices of a dill, like a pepperoni slice.
Yeah.
But then you're working in like maybe a bit of pickled red onion or like a banana pepper too.
Yes and yes, Ty.
No way.
You nailed every single ingredient so far.
I think it's because I actually...
You've had it, you motherfucker.
No,
okay.
But I dream of this. I actually think it's a good idea. I rejected it at first.
Yeah.
But the more I think about it, the more I think this is a wonderful evolution of the Zaza.
I mean, you acted surprised, but I could see in your smile that there was a whimsy behind it. You know what I mean? You were like very excited to hear about it.
I don't know why it's making me so giddy, but it seems like a really fun piece of food.
It was really fun. And I gotta say, when I walked back to our spot that we secured on the patio, I had to break the news to LP that I ordered a pickle pizza, and that was not well received.
No, I bet. No one wants to hear that.
Especially because I had texted her in line, what do you want? And she said pepperoni. and then I just kind of like scanned for a pepperoni, and I kind of just wasn't feeling it. And I was like, you know what? Fuck it. We're getting the feature.
We're getting the pickle.
It's a pickle party.
Yeah, it's a pickle party.
Yeah, dude. Wow. Pickled banana peppers, onions, like you said. Splash of dill. Ooh. Super nice. And then ranch sauce, and then lots of mozzarella cheese.
Yeah, dude. You're basically eating a charcuterie board.
Yeah. And they do one of the best crusts, I think.
Oh, yeah. Great
it's
crust.
Like perfectly cheesy and crunchy. Oh, mamma mia.
Mamma mia.
Making Spaccanapoli run for its money.
I think that like pizza's a pretty like low bar of entry for a restaurant. There's a lot of pizza places, obviously, in every city. So there's clearly competition. You need to find your own niche your own slice of the pie, if you will.
Yeah, and it's a format that can be busted wide open, much like the sandwich. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You can do it any way you want, and you could strike gold. You know?
We got the traditionalists that are like refining the Napoli style, and we got the futurists who are trying to innovate. And that's a dangerous side of the pizza spectrum to be on. But if you can pull it off, you'll invent pizza too, and that would be pretty cool.
It's kind of crazy because before breweries, the people leading the pizza innovation charge was Little Caesars and Pizza Hut, Domino's. You know,
it was the big pizza players.
Big pizza players.
They were undermined by the craft beer scene. That's crazy.
Yeah, dude.
What were they? They were sleeping then on something. Why didn't Pizza Hut invent the pickle pizza?
Well, they invented stuffed crust. Or one of these guys did.
Yeah,
That's
brilliant.
pretty fucking smart, if you ask me.
Yeah, totally. But you can't ride stuffed crust forever. Like stuffed crust is it's like when we say, "Oh, Apple invented the iPhone," but what have they done since? It's like
Right. Yeah,
what
it's been
has
nearly
Little
2 decades.
Caesars done since Crazy Bread?
Great question, Ty. That's the $1 million question right there. Or should I say the $5 question?
Yeah. Speaking of which, that's I think where Subway has some opportunity here because they are starting to try to dabble in. We give them a hard time for it, but I appreciate their aptitude for innovation.
Yeah, likewise.
I was scrolling the infamous Reddit app prior to this episode to see if there's any content farming I could do for this episode, and I did see an interesting post, Eric. Actually, digression real quick. Whenever I go open the Reddit app, I only use it for the Subway Reddit for this podcast, and I always get ads for Ozempic in between posts.
Wow.
What's going on there?
I don't know, dude. I don't know.
It's concerning. Anyways, what I learned was the innovative new concept from Subway, which we've discussed in length here, the footlong Doritos nachos, comes with a unfortunate constraint. And that unfortunate constraint, Eric, is that you're not allowed to customize the nachos. And I'm hearing about this firsthand via a sandwich artist on this subreddit saying, hey, unfortunately, you can't customize the Subway nachos.
So tell me more about that, because my understanding was that the nachos were a bed of chips and then whatever cheese you wanted. And then I'm guessing it moves down the line where you can put on some vegetables. Is that no longer the case?
This Subway customer describes it as one small bag of Doritos spread in a thin box with half a scoop of meat. And they wanted to add a few veg to that. Yeah, just meat.
Fuck?
You can't add veggies. You can't customize it at all, not even for an upcharge. And they're very mad.
They're very mad.
Yeah.
Ty, humor me here. Tuna nachos, fire, right?
Oh, wow, yeah. A little ahi tuna on that shit. A little poke nachos.
Yeah, well, I'm just thinking the Subway tuna, but that sounds good too.
Oh, God. The Subway tuna nachos. That's a completely different
I'm thinking about meat options here because, like when you said meat, I was thinking like, okay, probably some chicken. There's not like many meat options at Subway that I think would go well with nachos, but the tuna is actually one of them in my opinion.
I agree, actually. I think the tuna with a tortilla chip would be pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
And Doritos feel very versatile pairing with fish. I think it's because like the umami flavor of a Dorito is not unlike some Japanese spicy sauces.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's definitely got a kind of wasabi. If there's a wasabi element in there, it pairs perfectly with fish.
Yeah, exactly. There's something about it. It's just maybe it's because Doritos brands itself more as a technology than a food, that it feels like it's directly from Tokyo. Whoa,
yeah. Doritos is more of like a lifestyle choice than a food. Like same with Mountain Dew.
Yeah,
it's just a chemical compound that you have to align yourself with.
It's kind of like if Soylent was conservative, you'd get Mountain Dew.
Whoa, that's crazy.
That is crazy.
I mean, I think the Republican equivalent to Soylent is Muscle Milk.
Oh, probably.
To be honest.
Dude, protein milk is having such a moment right now. Do you see Tim Hortons is advertising a protein shake now?
Dude, I got one right here.
Wait, no way. Actually, oh wow.
Oh, not the Tim Hortons one. I got the Fairlife.
Yeah.
But protein milk is the way to go.
You've been protein milk pilled this last month. So I'm noticing that you are a part of a changing consumer interest. So my question is what's going on here?
Ty, I think it's the Stanley mug.
Not where I thought we were going to go with this, but tell me more.
I think the Stanley mug is innovative in two regards. One, you can carry almost an endless amount of fluid with you no matter where you go, and keep it warm or cold. And the second thing is nobody knows what's in my cup. Don't tell me what's in my cup, as Lil Wayne said.
Dude, so it's like 32 ounces of lean.
Exactly. So like it could be electrolytes, it can be sangria, you know what I mean? It could be muscle milk. That's the beauty of it, Ty. You can sip it all day as a school teacher and not know. None of your kids will know that you're off the wine. You know,
dude. Yeah, that's true. The school teacher's got 32 ounces of Pinot Gris in there.
In the pink Stanley, bro. That's crazy.
Stanley, no one needs to know.
In the Honda Fit cup holder.
Wow. Yeah, dude, Stanley is making society the most hydrated it's ever been.
Yeah,
like
dude.
I feel like the early O's was like the dehydration era for people. It was like peak Red Bull and like a lot of alcohol centric. You look at reality TV back then, so alcohol centric. And we've kind of come out of that, and now like everyone's a hydration head these days.
Absolutely, Ty. Pair that with the COVID pandemic. Everyone's sitting at home sipping water all day. They're staying hydrated. They're paying more attention to their health. There's no reason to not get up and get a glass of water. It's right there. You know what I mean? But now with RTO and the middle class no longer spending 24 hours at home, I think we might see a small dip in the overall hydration of this generation.
It does make sense. You got peak hydration at home. Now you have to leave the house. You need to pack a whole jug with you. You know, you're like a camel.
That's why I bring this muscle milk with me every day I come to office, Ty. I have lunch, but I need that 3 p.m. pick me up right when we start the pod.
It's really interesting because I think like there's always a drink when it comes to health. Like there was a cold pressed juice era for a little bit.
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Everyone was spending $400 on juice cleanses.
Yeah, electrolytes were popping for a bit too, and now we're in the protein shake era.
Cheers.
Eric's chugging one as we speak. So I don't know. I don't think this is going to last. I think this is a ploy by Big Creatine, if I'm being honest, to just get more people hooked.
Do you think Drake saw creatine and jumped on it?
Drake loves the creatines.
He just loves protein, creatine,
amphetamines. Yeah, it's very possible. So I don't know. I don't think it's here to stay, but it's fun while we're here, right? Let's enjoy it.
Ty, when you were scrolling the Reddit application, I saw you scroll past an image really quickly, and it looked like a pile of food on the floor. Can you
I'll go pull that back up. Let's find that. Are you referring to this pizza picture?
It was circular, so most likely. Yeah, you weren't joking about the Ozempic ad.
This?
There it is, yeah.
Oh yeah, okay. I pulled up this picture. Someone has made a pizza at Subway they call it a meatball pizza. And they came with banana peppers, jalapenos, hot honey, and sriracha. Ooh, spicy boy.
Damn, bro.
Damn, that actually looks pretty fire. I would eat that right now.
Here's the thing. How do you even eat that?
I have no idea.
Do you roll it up into a taco?
Those meatballs are going to roll off the minute you pick up a slice.
Yeah. And you need something to slice that with. It's in a pizza box. What's up with that?
Where did the sandwich artist get a pizza box?
Something's not adding up here, Ty.
Okay, some Subways do offer pizza as a selection on the menu.
No fucking way.
Yeah, I've seen it before. It's usually small towns where there isn't as many dining options. They've diversified their menu to appeal to that.
Right, they know what their audience wants.
Yeah, exactly. It's like there's only 3 restaurants in town, right? You got like Dollar General and Subway and Nona's House. Those are your options.
Yeah. Wow.
This looks so good. This is basically a pickle pizza. There's a few pickled elements on here, plus some meatballs.
Looks like there's one reply. Can we see what
let's see what they're talking about here.
What's the community saying?
Looks delicious, but I would have cooked it a little more because I like my pizza well done, but that's just me. Thank you, Apple Professional 170. Dude, the discourse online in the Subway subreddit is difficult to fathom, the intelligence.
It's really high level cultural commentary.
It really is, yeah.
Wow. So do you think if we just went to a Subway, asked for pizza, they could do it? Or do we have to drive 3 hours out of town to find it?
I think you have to find a specialized location, otherwise you're freaking a flatbread.
Right. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. But I don't know, maybe they got a few pie crusts in the back and they save it for if you know crowd.
Yeah, what other secrets is the Subway deep state hiding from us? The permanent employees at Subway, what are they hiding?
Drop the tuna list. We want to know the ingredients.
Every once in a while they murk their CEO, but there is like a middle management tier that's been there for 100 years probably.
Yeah, they're protecting a lot of stuff. They're gatekeeping a lot of ideas and controversies. But that's for another episode to figure out, Eric.
Definitely. Breadheads, appreciate you tuning in. Make sure to buy our merch. We got some exciting stuff on the way. And if you need help, find help with BetterHelp.com/thinkfresh. It's in the description. Just go ahead and do a little scroll down. You'll see it.
Yeah.
Anything else, Ty? Any last words?
No, just the grumble of my stomach.
That's right.
Think fresh, everybody. Ciao.